So, meeting is being recorded. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to Denise. Good afternoon.
Hello.
It's what, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock for you right now, yeah? 6 o'clock on Friday?
Right, 6. Yes.
6 on Friday. Everyone else here, I think we're on the same time zone, aren't we? We're all at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning in Australia. So good to be here. It is June. And so that's good news for Americans, not so good news for Australians, unless you're in the far north. And for us down in the south, it's chilly, but that's all right. We're going to get warm right now. So here's Felicia. So great to see you all. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I thought we just got a small group, and we've got a few newies today, new faces, or people that we haven't seen for a little while. We might do it just a very quick hello intro, who you are, where you're from, why you're here. So who you are, where you're from, why you're here. But keep it short, if you don't mind. Keep it short and sharp. Hello, Felicia. Good to see your smiling face. So, I want to kick off. It's always just nice for us to get a feel for who's in the room.
Start with a newie.
Good on you, Fee.
My name's Fiona Telford, or it's Fee, really. I go as Fee.
Fabulous, Fee.
And I'm in Sanctuary Cove in Queensland. And I'm really looking forward to this retreat because I'm very fond of Andrew and his assistance to me over the last 12 months and encouragement. And I'm looking forward to learning as much as I can and to meet all you others as contemporaries.
You will. In fact, probably about half the group here are coming to Bali, which is pretty exciting. So, Fee, just quickly, you've got a story to tell, haven't you? And don't get into the detail, but just a quick overview of the book you're writing and I guess what impact you want it to have on lives.
Well, I've had a huge journey of 50 years in the mental health industry, personal, teaching, studying, and I want to bring as much information regarding the hardships that mental health issues create for all children, teenagers, adults, family structures, and all of humanity, really, in this day and age that we are experiencing. Because as I've personally experienced so much, I understand and know so much about it all. And I need to get all my thoughts and feelings, views out there so people can be helped and understand more.
That's awesome. Good on you, Fee. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And Bali is going to be the place where we get it all together and launch it, aren't we? So that's exciting. And I might go to Denise because Denise, you probably, I think Denise and Fiona have probably got a lot in common with challenges and struggles you've had. So Denise, do you want to just give us your quick little intro?
Well, I have just completed editing my first manuscript called Shed the Shame and Thrive, all about mental illness and traumatic brain injury. I had 3 traumatic brain injuries, the last one of which put me out of commission. And I've written a book about my mental illness since childhood up until my most recent episode this past fall, and how to help other people who are disabled or brain injured or mentally ill or on the spectrum to have a how-to guide that I've used in my own recovery to help other people recover as well.
Yeah.
And I'm done editing finally. Now I have to do one more read through and polish it up, and then on to assessment, and then everything to get published.
Yay!
So I have a great sense of accomplishment.
That's
I'm
amazing.
feeling pretty good.
You should feel
Wow.
good. That's incredible, Denise. Well done. Such a journey, isn't it? This whole process of, and particularly when you're writing about stuff like you're writing about, and in fact, a lot of you are writing about stuff that's traumatic. You know, it's stuff you've been through, and it can be challenging. So to actually write it and get it to this stage is incredible. So well done, Denise. Thank you.
Denise,
for
can I ask you
sharing.
how?
And
sorry,
Eva, yeah, you may as well do your intro, ask your question, and intro
Well,
yourself.
I
Eva.
will. Okay. Denise, how long has it taken you to get to this point?
It took me May of 2021 to May of 2022 to write it. And I worked solid that whole year.
Wow.
I wrote everything. I wrote everything I thought of. I didn't it as I went. I just wrote. And then I spent from May until September editing. I was out September, October, November, December. Then the accountability club that we started in January got me kicked back into gear. I got myself out of my depressed state, and I started editing again in January, and I finished last week. So it took me another May to do the editing.
Wow. I'm so impressed. I'm really impressed because I'm only just starting and I'm just getting so fucking overwhelmed with this all. Excuse me, I swear quite freely. I hope I don't offend anybody. Okay. All right, good. So, yes. Okay, so I am on somewhat a similar journey to Denise. However, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to couch my approach, because I too have had a severe traumatic brain injury 24 years ago. And I also had an experience of stage 4 cancer in 2009, 10 years after the brain injury. And I've healed myself and I've recovered to a great extent, utilizing systems and healing modalities that are outside the square of Western medicine. And that's why I really believe that's why I've gotten as better as I have, because, you know, at the time I was 4 on the Glasgow coma scale, 2 is dead, 15 is conscious. I was 4. I was in a coma for a month. I was told that my parents were told I'd never walk again or talk again. Of course, they always do the whole, you know, worst case scenario. But as soon as I heard from Dad that that's what they said, that just lit the fire in my gut. I'll fucking prove them wrong. I'll prove them wrong. Watch me go. 24 years later. 24 years later. Anyway, okay, that's me. And yes, I'd really like to talk to someone about how I get over this. I'm only on the first page and I'm still being bloody, I'm going back over it and changing things already. It's the first page, man.
Eva, just so you know, what you're going through is very normal, and you'll get past this. And once you've got that clarity, it'll just flow. Don't worry.
But
I
you
think
see,
the hardest thing with any starting on this particular journey is, particularly when it's the first time, there's so much uncertainty, fear. How do I do it? Just know, Eva, there are people around you, including myself, who know what we're doing.
my first time, I'm already published. And I've done so much writing over this entire time. I have thousands and thousands of pages of words.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All good. Justine.
I was just going to say, stop trying to be perfect. It's
Good.
not about perfection. It's about persistence, and just keep writing. And it's your first draft. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just put it all on paper. Spew all the words out. Stop reading it and trying to make it perfect.
Okay.
All right. So you just need to go with the flow, calm your mind down, and just write.
Mm.
Don't overthink it, because you're overthinking it.
You are.
constantly. And I'm speaking from experience.
Well, I think we could all go there, couldn't we? Put your hand over, you overthink things. I mean, Justine, while you're talking, do you want to do just a very quick intro? The brief version, because if we do the proper intro of Justine, the whole hour will be gone because she's done so much. Not that you talk too much. That's not what I meant.
I know what you meant. I can resonate with Fiona, Denise, and you, Eva. I am too a stage 4 cancer survivor. I had 3 primary cancers at once. I was told 12 years ago I'd never be able to work again with being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I also had 2 other blood conditions and I've had 3 heart surgeries. I'm known as the Queen of Resilience, and I now own and run 7 businesses global. So I'm a publisher, an author, a artist, a teacher, a mentor, a manager, a coach, a consultant, an affiliate, a volunteer, a mum, and a grandma to 7. So I have co-authored 4 books. Andrew's told me I'm not allowed to co-author anymore, but I am co-authoring one at the moment, which is my anthology book. I put together 25 authors from around the country, all talking about their journeys with MS, and that book is coming out in September, and it's probably one of the biggest and the hardest projects that I've ever had to deal and do, working with 25 disabled people, lots with acquired brain injuries, because that's what happens when you have MS. And I've written and illustrated children's books, and I published my first children's book last year, and I've got contracts underway at the moment for more children's books. Anyway, I run 3 podcasts. I just went for a job as a TV presenter, so look out.
And what do you do in your spare time?
I socialize, I go out, I go to retreats.
Yay.
I'm going to Bali. I'm going to Ireland at the end of the year for another writing retreat with a certain royal. Yeah, I have spare time. This is, everyone says to me, oh, you must work.
So what Justine has just done for everyone, including myself, is get rid of all of our excuses. Whatever excuse you're making, and we do that, don't we? For not, I don't have enough time. Who said that? Slap yourself. And don't ever say it again. There you go.
Can I just say one thing about time? And you know that I say this quite often because it is my saying, but time is the most precious commodity on the planet. You cannot buy it, sell it, reuse it, borrow it, or steal it. So be careful on whom
get it back.
Or get it back. So be careful on whom you spend it on and what you spend it on.
There you go. Profound. Good on you, Justine. Let's just keep moving. Thank you, Justine. Let's keep moving. Kate, are you able to talk at the moment? Kate's driving from Canberra to Sydney at the moment. So
I am, but
if you prefer not to, it's okay.
That's okay. You might hear the navigator tell me where to go because it just paused when I started the Zoom and I missed. I missed my turn off. So do you want keep going and then hopefully I'll get my destination and
yeah, we'll talk to you later. But thanks, Kate. Kate's just very new to this group and is coming to Bali, but she'll share her story. She's another amazing, inspiring person, which I'm so grateful that's part of this fabulous group. Okay, so Lise, hello. Lise.
Hello. Hi.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hi, Erica.
Hi, Erica. Yes, so I'm Lisa. I have published a book. I have spent 25 years or so working with homeless young people, and I got quite involved. I wrote a novel. It's fiction, but it's about homeless young people and their trajectory into homelessness. I planned on doing a trilogy of that, and I'm starting that now, and I'm slumped in a hole, and Denise will know that our accountability group was working pretty well, and then I got a little bit ill, and then I seem to have lost everything, all my motivation, and haven't been able to get. And part of that is because I'm thinking far too much. Part of it is because next month I will be going to work part-time, 2 days a week from full-time work. So I'm looking forward. So I keep thinking, well, at that point, I'm going to have all this time that I can devote to writing. But truly, I've just lost the motivation. I did talk to Andrew last week about this, and he suggested I raise it here. And I don't like talking here, but I do. Yeah, so that's why I'm here particularly today, but I have been involved ongoing in the group, and I find it quite useful and valuable, and it usually inspires me. Andrew did say last week that you have to believe, you have to have the belief that you're a successful author rather than just do it. It just started becoming a chore, I think. And so anyway.
All right. Well, Lise, we will open it up to this group to help you. And you know what? And this
we can introduce other people first.
Yeah, I'll do that first. Well, I'll make sure everyone's been introduced first. But I think it's what I want to just say to you, Lisa, is when you feel like that, and we all feel like that at times, like there's all times where we're not motivated, where we're discouraged, where we just want to flush it down the toilet. The fact you're here, I think, is the most important decision you've made, is to be here. And even you said you don't like talking to the group. Well, the fact you've done it.
I don't mind talking to the group, but I prefer.
I know they're horrible.
When
I mean, they're all horrible. I don't know why I'd want to. No, but it's that courage to do stuff that you don't feel like doing, and particularly when you're feeling flat and down, like you're not productive. And I just want to all to get rid of this need to be productive. It's not a need. It's not like a responsibility. It should be a joy. It should be something you want to do, not I must be productive. I must be motivated. No. If you think motivation is the key to success, you're going to be waiting a long, long, long time. Because trust me, you will never be motivated all the time. Is anyone motivated?
We'll move on to other people.
Yeah, we will. We'll come back to you. Don't worry, Les. We're going to focus the spotlight on you very shortly. Anyway, we might just go to Felicia. Hello, Felicia.
Lisa, hi, everyone. Lisa, I will say, I think you and I have been here together for a very long time. And I was very motivated. I wrote my book. I went to editing. I got so many things to work on to fix it. And that totally unmotivated me. So I tried to get back started numerous times. And every time it's like, it's so hard for me to read my book over again because it's about my business and really trying to get it off the ground. And because I live it every day, which is also daunting and it can actually be depressing sometimes. I mean, that's how I make my living. I'm a consultant. And right now, after COVID, it's so difficult to get work. I have work. When I tell other business owners, they're like, oh, I can't win any contracts. Woe is me. They're looking at me like, are you crazy? You keep getting extended for the same contract that you had since 2015, and you have other contracts. And, some people have nothing, but, I didn't really quit my day job to be the only one working in my business. So it's so difficult to go from working in the business to working on the business to writing a book about the business and trying to explain to people how to not fall into the pitfalls that I've fallen into. And sometimes I just find that I'm swirling at the bottom of the tank. But I have this book at the top of my list of things to do because I also have signs all over my office. you need to do things that generate revenue.
Yeah.
So I'm always caught up doing administrative stuff or solving a problem or doing all sorts of things. So I know I'm really good at what I do, and I just need to share it in my book and hope that that's a way for me to get those things out there. So I understand not being motivated. I came back, I'd been out of these meetings for a while simply because I don't know what was going on with my calendar. Andrew and I wasn't getting his emails for some reason, but I'm going to try to be a permanent back because I want to get that book done. I have ideas of other books, and I don't want to start something else until I finish this one. So trust me, if anyone feels unmotivated, I'm right here with you, but I know that time is limited, but we spend time on what we want. So I just have to carve out some time to do this.
Awesome. Thanks, Felicia. Thanks for sharing. Just it makes us all feel normal, doesn't it, when we hear other people's stories? Because sometimes we feel like we're the only one going through this challenge, the only one unmotivated, we're the only one that struggles. Well, here's the great news, and the great news is we all struggle, and also the great news is we can all get through that struggle. So thanks, Felicia. Justin, you happy to say hello?
Yeah, that's fine, Andrew. All good. Yeah, my name's Justin. I'm in Melbourne, in Australia here. So I suppose my journey's a bit just life's ups and downs. I've been an advocate or heavily involved around work jobs, different jobs in sports, and ridden a lot of ups and downs through sport that I actually relate to life and use as ways to overcome negative outcomes, I suppose. But yeah, I've had just things in life that we all have, and family members that have passed, and situations outside of work and sport that to do with relationships that have been dramatic and up and down at times. So I think I've always thought I wouldn't mind writing a book. Never really took it seriously though. It was always a thought. And then Andrew and I crossed paths and met, and he's probably given me a bit of a kick up the bum to look into it and maybe do it. And I had a period for a few months or 6 weeks, I reckon, where I got writing on something that was more of a biography type of thing. But then I've hesitated on that a little bit at the moment and decided I probably don't want to go down that track first off. So I'm heading back towards getting started on a version that's more to do with probably how people can get a kick in the ass out of things in life, but how to almost suck it up and move forwards, not let it get the better of you, I suppose. So I'm going on a slight different direction for now. But I've had about a 6-week period with a new job. I haven't done any sort of writing or thoughts with that one yet, but I think I'm ready to sort of start putting pen to paper with a version of that, which hopefully if I just get it started for now, I can bring to the retreat.
Yep.
And use that as the opportunity to actually get a focus on the direction it's probably going to go. So that's my story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm generally a pretty positive person because I have had a lot of ups and downs, but like everyone here, you have your moments where you hesitate, and I haven't been on one of these because I've been pretty busy with life. But I think I needed it today, and it's, on top of hearing everyone else, it's a good little, as I said earlier, kick in the ass to get my stuff going again, I think. So, yeah.
Mate, good on you. Happy to give you a kick in the butt for sure. In a loving, caring way, of course.
Yep.
Thanks, mate. And Erica, hello, Erica. Good to see you. Are you happy to just introduce yourself quickly?
Yep. So I'm completely green here. This is all very new to me. But much like Justin just mentioned, I've never been a journaler or someone who's written things down, but I always have a lot going on in my head. And yeah, somewhere along the line, I just started thinking, maybe I should start writing some of this down. And I don't know. And then I felt like I had more to say than just journaling to myself, which I still haven't started. Because I always put everything else first. I feel like that's something you have to have time to sit down and do. And when I get to the end of the day, that's actually the last thing I want to do. So it's probably something I should make time for in the morning.
Yeah.
yes, so obviously I reached out on the WhatsApp messenger this morning, feeling very vulnerable and wasn't feeling, was really balking at turning up this morning. But I guess I used that feeling to decide to turn up, if that makes any sense. I was like, maybe that kickback that I'm feeling is the actual reason that I need to be here.
Absolutely. Well, good on you, Erica, and good on you for being here. And I think it's important to know that we are all on the same journey. We're at different stages of the journey. Some are at the early stages, some are at far more advanced stages, but we're all here. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to have an impact on lives. We're all trying to change our own life. We're all trying to do things and live a beautiful life that we love, that has meaning and purpose. Yeah. And on that journey, there's going to be highs and lows and times where we doubt and fear and concerns and stumbles and all that kind of stuff. That's just any journey. You know, most of you are talking about your journey in life and the things you've had to overcome, you know, and I mean, look at every single one of you, you know, every one of us has had to overcome stuff. And the fact you're here means you've overcome a lot of stuff, which means you can overcome anything. And the fact, and Erica, the fact that you're here, like you, Lisa, that, you know, you've resisted that urge to hide and run away. And you said, no, I think maybe I do need to be here. I think that's a wonderful decision, and you need to take credit for doing that, because it's hard to talk to a group of people, particularly when you've got no idea who these people are, and it's all a bit intimidating and overwhelming for sure. But let me just tell you, all an author is no one that's special. It's just someone that's consistently done stuff and persisted until they've got a book. That's it. That's all an author is. And I can say, because I've got 8 books, and people say how impressive that is. It's not impressive at all. I write every day. I keep going. I submit. I keep submitting. I don't stop. I don't give up. And surprise, surprise, I'm an author. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not ability. It's not circumstances. It is 100% purely your willingness to keep going despite how you feel, because you're not going to be motivated every single day. And what I want to do, I want to throw one concept to you guys, and then let you guys just discuss this. And this is what the conversation I had with Lisa the other day. How many of you have read the book Atomic Habits or heard of the book Atomic Habits? And the early stages of the book, it talks about, you know, the author, I can't remember his name. The author is not a big rap for goals. For goal, you know how we set goals must be goal driven, goal oriented, goal, and then most people that set goals never ever achieve them. The goal is the outcome that we're after. The key, really, and you all know I say this all the time, is the daily routine that you create. James Clear, thanks, Justine. Is the routine, is what you do every day, the action. Yeah, I'm an author today because I write every day. Not because of any other reason, because simply I focus on the process, not the goal. I set the goal. I'm going to be a published author. That's a goal. That's clear. I know why. It's important. It's there. Bang. Push it away. Focus on the process. Now, here's the key. Here's the key. The key that he says is, unless that action or that process is sitting on a foundation of belief, as Lisa said, or an identity, it will collapse. Because if you're trying to write every day, but your identity is I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, or I can't write, then at some point you'll sabotage yourself. Okay. He gave an example. If you've ever been a smoker, I don't know if any of you have been a smoker, and you try and give up smoking, if you say I'm giving up smoking, your identity, you're still identifying yourself as a smoker. Yeah. But when you say, when your identity is I'm healthy, I'm pure, I'm clean, you know, when that I'm a healthy person, when that's your identity, then the decision to not smoke is an easy one, because you identify yourself as a healthy person. Does it make sense? Yeah, Eva, I see your hand up. I'll come to you in 2 seconds. So as what you're all doing now, you've got to start identifying yourself as a published author, as a successful published author. And this is not a hard thing. Let me tell you, from someone who's looking back along the path where I am now, it's not that big a deal. Like to say I'm a published author, and even though you're not published, and even in conversations when people say, what do you do? One of the things I do is I'm an author. Oh, what have you written? Oh, my first book is in the process right now. But if you firstly identify yourself, I'm a successful author. Okay, well, what does an author do? An author writes. So it makes writing almost natural, because if you don't identify yourself as an author, if your identity is, yeah, I'm battling, I'm busy, I can't find time, then you'll find it very difficult to motivate yourself to write. If you really work on identity, I am, and a lot of you have done this with this, I am enough, I'm persistent, I'm determined, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm sharing, I'm a published author, successful, then the action is just very natural. Anyway, I just wanted to put that concept out there, and now I want to open it up because I've done enough talking, and we'll start with you, Eva. You want to share something?
Yeah, just something about exactly what you said about the words and the motivation to Erica, because I heard when Erica was speaking before, she was saying that she should get that habit going in the morning, and I wanted to say to you, I wanted to say change should to could. And then that actually what that actually does is that takes the motivation from a mellifluous thing to something that is you could get it started. So why aren't you? Yeah. It's really good, changing should to could.
It is, because we should all over ourselves, don't we? And should is that we're with that perfectionist mindset, and should is that where we feel when we don't do it, we're not enough, we can't do it. Oh, I should have, I didn't do it, I should have, and we beat ourselves to a pulp. Whereas I think it's an awesome point. When I say I could, then it's an option. It's something you could do. If you don't, it's not a big deal, but you're more likely to do it when you take that pressure off yourself. That's a great point, Eva.
Just about Lisa, the book's not about you. All right, you're just the deliverer of the message, and you're doing a disservice to people that are waiting to read what you have to say. Your message will help so many other people.
Yeah, thanks, Justine. That's a good point. I also think that Eva with the should, because that's what I'm doing at the moment. I should be doing this. I should be sitting down. And then when I don't, it makes it worse. So I think that's a good point as well.
Do it because it's joyful. Do it because it brings joy. And as Justine says, it's going to have an impact on lives. Do it because you love it, because it's who you are at the core, not because I should be. It's something that you have to do. Do it because it's something you want to do, because it just brings joy into your life. Every word, just think, every word you write, every single word, every word you write that's read by someone's going to have an impact on their life. Does that change it? Changes it for me. Now, Erica, did you want to say something?
No, literally when I was like, as I said the word, I was going to almost correct myself. I was like, I shouldn't even say that. Like, I'm very aware of that word.
Yeah, there's a few words
and it's a very, it's, I think, part of this whole experience has a lot to do with how I have been doing things, and that word plays a big part in that.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, we think, well, I know techniques. How do you write? How do you publish? How do all those technique-y things, when the bottom line is really, it just comes down to this basic mindset, belief, identity sort of stuff, and the language that we use. Language is so critical. Anyone else? Kate, are you hello, Kate?
Hi.
You've stopped driving, I hope.
I've got to, yes, I've got to my first destination. I got the spare parts for my husband, so he'll be happy about that. But it's lovely to meet you all and hear a little bit about your journeys, and I look forward to meeting you all, or those that are coming to Bali. My name's Kate. I'm from Sydney originally, but live just outside of Canberra currently. I'm a mum of 6 and have I struggled from 18 to 32 with gambling addiction, and I've spent the last 10 years in advocacy trying to change the gambling laws here in Australia and help liberate other people from shame, because it's addiction by design, and we are the #1 gambling nation in the world, and that's because nobody is protecting us. So I have a big journey ahead of delivering all of the learnings over the last 20 odd years of both living it and fighting against it, and I'm looking forward to the process.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what you do, Kate, and the impact you have. So, and being part of helping you do that. So that's good on you for courage. Wow, talk about courage. In fact, I'm looking at this screen, I see a lot of very courageous people. Any other thoughts, comments?
Yeah, can I was thinking about what you said about the Atomic Habit, which I will read the book. But thinking about it, I don't really think I have written a book. I've had it published, but I don't identify as an author, which that was my homework. I had to think about that. So I did, and I really don't consider myself an author. An author is something additionally that I do, if that makes sense. So
you don't identify yourself as an author, even though you've published a book?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because that's a secondary identity as such. And so I need to.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you loose on.
I've got 7 identities if you're going to talk about it. You know, I run through them all. Lisa, you're just you. You're just you. Why do you need it? Why do you need a label? Why do you need different identities? You know,
I don't think I need different identities. It's just that when Andrew suggested that, my author part is a sidekick as such. So I just, it's something that I've just sort of.
Why did you write your first book? Why did you write your first book?
The first book I wrote is because I've worked with homeless young people for a number of years, and there was under 16-year-olds is a real problem in that area. No one takes responsibility for them unless they're in the other home care situation. So I was quite incensed about that. I got motivated to write fiction about that, because I think there's lots of academic work and things out there, but for people to really identify with homeless young people, it needed to be, I wanted it to be a novel, so more people would read it, be easy to read, it would illustrate the issues. So that's why I wrote it.
Yeah.
And it.
Yeah.
And
you could have done that just by doing a Facebook Live. You could have done that by going on a radio. You could have done that in any other form of media, but you chose to write. Why did you choose to write it?
Because it was a different way of putting that out there. I think there's lots of things on homelessness in those venues. There's not much in fiction writing. So I just thought it was a different way of raising the issues, really.
So subconsciously you became an author without realizing that you were an author.
I guess so. Or maybe I just wanted to be an author.
Well, you are
an
an
author.
author. There's no,
I am an author.
You've got a book, so you're an author. But I think,
Yeah.
You know, it's a complicated topic, this identity piece, isn't it? And I think the bottom line is, I used to identify myself as a footballer, as a personal trainer, as a speaker, as an author, as a mentor, as a podcast host. And what I've recognized is I'm not any of those things. I'm someone, my identity is a person that's purpose driven. I'm, wanting to have an impact on this world. And there are multiple ways of doing that. And the things I do there, that's what I do to reinforce who I am. So maybe, it's okay if you don't necessarily consider yourself an author, because that's something that you've done, and it is something you do. You're right. You are an author it's not necessarily you. That's who you are as a person, but you've written a book, you're published, you're an author. Okay. Like there's no debate there. I don't think anyone would argue that point, but maybe the identity piece then is, okay, well, what's your mission? Who am I, and what's my mission? What am I on this planet to do? What's my meaning here? And writing books is a way of fulfilling that meaning and that mission. I don't know. It's a complicated. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, Andrew, that resonated with me just then. The way that you worded that about what we are as people, perhaps. Because then I think to myself, like everyone here, I'd love to write a book, yes, but why? And there's always a reason behind it. But for me, what I'm best at, I think, in my world is being a coach and being a motivator for young adults and people in sporting industry. Yes, I work my jobs and I've had all different jobs, but that's never been my true passion. My better passion's more wanting to be my best version in a sporting world, but to actually bring others along for the ride and make them also learn how to be their best version. Because a lot of people in common sport world, they get involved in a team and they participate or they play whatever their sport is, but they never truly fulfill their potential, I suppose, or their ability. So I feel that as a coach, I get the opportunity to try and enhance their ability to believe in themselves, I suppose.
The best out of you, helping people get the best out of themselves, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. And what you just said there makes me sit back and think, okay, well, why am I writing a book? Well, because I've got to get that voice out there to help others understand or believe that you're more than capable of surviving and being your best version, irrespective of the knocks and the ups and the downs and things that happen along the journey. Whether that is a sports person or just an everyday life person that goes through their own trials and tribulations. So I thought that really resonated. That was good.
Awesome. Well, thanks, mate. And look, I think I never, and I've said this multiple times, I've never wrote a book to be an author. I still don't write a book to be an author. I am an author by action and by default, but that's not why I wrote, and that's not why I write. I wrote a book, my first book, I wrote a book actually to save my life, because I was in such a deep, dark place and had no way out. I now write books every word I write fulfills my purpose. And I know the word, and I'm very clear about the word and the impact it's going to have on someone else's life. And it's like when we speak, like right now, I'm talking to you guys, and I'm hoping that the words that I'm speaking are landing with you, and you are taking them in a way that can give you hope, give you encouragement, give you some kind of empowerment to move forward. And I think you're all the same, right? Like when we can take our focus off, you know, what we do and more on who we are, I think that then you'll do more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
May I offer a suggestion?
Yes, please, Denise. You may.
This, can you see this page clearly? This tears.
Yeah.
Why is it boxes, your
I'm having
wiggles,
trouble hearing you, Denise.
and then the body check off. Whenever I got stuck and I had to get my engine going again, we started the accountability club, which anyone is welcome to join. We use the habit share app and check off our habits we have each day. We check them off and we can see each other's work, so we know when to help each other. But Andrew had me put this back out again when I got stuck. And I had my 3 goals: writing being one, exercise being one, and water consumption being one.
Denise,
And just having to try to
your internet's bad. We're not understanding you at the moment. You're alien.
How much did you get?
Not a lot. Not a lot. So I think you were talking about the accountability group. Is that what you were talking about?
No, this.
Oh, okay, the tracking sheet. The you're talking about.
Yes. I used one of these. Yes.
Okay.
It helps checking off.
Yeah. Okay. So if you don't have, or you haven't seen this, I'm happy to send you a copy. This is a tracking sheet, and what it does is it, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is, and what Denise is talking about is taking that action, that process, and turning it into an unconscious habit. Writing should just be, you know, ideally, at least it shouldn't have to require motivation. You know, when you get it to a certain point, it's just habits, like brushing your teeth. You know, and that's what it should be. And if it doesn't, and if it's not like that, if it's every day you're negotiating and debating, will I, won't I, should I, shouldn't I, then you haven't yet done it long enough for it to be that unconscious habit, that neural pathway in the brain. So that tracking sheet is a way of just saying, okay, what's my action? I'm going to write for 10 minutes a day, and then just tick the box every day. But you've got to do it for 63 days, and you've got to win every day. And then what Justine has done, I think, with Lisa and some other people, who've created an accountability group, and they check in every single day. Well, they were checking in every day. So Lisa, you might want to get back to that accountability group. So you set the intention, you write your little statement here of identity and why it's important. You get clear on why. You work out what's the action that I need to do. For most of you, it's writing. And whatever that is, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 100 words, 500 words, whatever it is for you, make it doable, make it sustainable, make it realistic. And then every single day, you don't need to worry about 63 days. You don't need to worry about next week, next year. You just need to worry about today. Just do it today. Celebrate, win the day. Send a little message off to your accountability partner. They'll celebrate with you, because success, any kind of achievement or any kind of result, goal, is always the result of the journey, the process, the routines you create. Every outcome we experience in our lives is the result of habits we've created. And so what Denise is saying, and sorry we couldn't hear you, Denise, but it's powerful stuff. But again, the foundation of the action is the identity, is I am persistent, I am courageous, I am a difference maker, I am having an impact on people's lives. And when you have that feeling, that identity, then it's much easier to do it even without motivation. Well, I'm not motivated, but this is what I am. This is who I am. So this is what I do. Makes sense?
Yeah. I think what Justine said is, why did you write the book? I don't think you need to identify as an author as such. It's what you're trying to do and achieve as such. And I think that's what dropped off.
You lost that,
So
that side of why.
Mm.
And that's an important thing. I think we've always got to be refocusing on our vision, on our why. Always. That's something you need to remind yourself of every day, Justine.
I think it's important to go into a bookstore, you know, an old-fashioned bookstore, because most of us will sell online, but go in there and envision where your book is going to be sitting on the shelf, and envision someone picking it up and reading it for the first time and the message that you're going to be giving them. That visualization in the process, because we're so focused about putting words on the page, it's the end game, you know, of the person, the client, the customer, the reader, picking it up and taking that message. And what's that going to feel like for them at the end? And what's it going to feel like for you going into a bookstore and seeing your book on the shelf?
Yep, absolutely.
And sorry, I've got 2 young grandkids in the background here.
And you.
Can I want to just show a video, and some of you have seen this, but what I want to do is, this is, some of you may remember Kylie. Kylie was part of the group for a long time, and she published her first book several years ago. And I want to just share this video. She took her daughter videoed her receiving her book for the first time and the reaction. So I want to show you this, because what Justine just said, I think is very powerful. Imagine when this is you, okay? If you haven't done this yet, or if you're struggling in it, I want you to imagine this. So just give me 2 seconds while I get this sorted out. But I'm going to...
There is nothing better in the world than when you get your first box of books.
Well, you have a look at Kylie, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh, hang on, sorry. I need to stop sharing because I got to optimize for video. Okay, so I'm going to start this again, and I'm going to make this full screen. Oh, heck, I'm not making it full screen. You know what, Ben, hear that?
Oh, wow! Oh my God! Look! Oh! Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Look! It's awesome! Look! It's a real thing! Oh wow! Oh my God, it's all there, look! It couldn't look any better! It's just awesome! Oh, look at the photos, they came out, look! Oh wow, where's the wedding photo? Oh wow, look! And then here should be you. Oh look! Oh my gosh!
You happy?
Oh, I can't begin to tell you! It's real, look at it! And it looks awesome! Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look. Oh wow.
I just want you to visualize that moment for you when that arrives, and that joy and that feeling of going, this is real. This is wow. this is what I've done. It's such a special moment. So, anyway, I think I might wrap it up now because it is now 11 o'clock here. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for being part of this group, because without you guys, then this doesn't happen. So there's another forum on Tuesday evening for those in Australia. Doesn't work for those in America. They'll be fast asleep. But Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. if you want to join that. That's coming Tuesday. On Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I know it's a bit late, but because I'm sort of more focusing in the west of Australia, we're doing our last info session for the Bali retreat. So if you haven't come and you want to find out more about it, or you know someone that you think might be interested, please let them know. But guys, love you all. You're amazing, and welcome to the new faces, Fee and Erica and Kate and Justin's been here before, but always amazing to have you guys. And for everyone else, thank you for being part of this, and thank you for what you do and what you share and who you are. And just keep being you. That's all you need to be. You don't need to be anyone else or anything else. You are enough just as you are. That just be you and let you flow onto that page, and it'll be amazing. Have a beautiful weekend, guys, and look forward to chatting to you all soon.